Don't play with the fire. Cringy. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys tips and tricks on how to grow your natural hair as quickly as possible. You need to know your hair type, okay? So that you know what to do with your hair. So you need to know whether your hair is 4A, 4B, 4C, 3A, 3C, 4D. Apparently there's a 4D. Just know your hair type so that even when you go around Googling how to grow your hair, you know which regimen you should be following. You cannot be watching a 1A straight haired girl and try to incorporate her regimen into your regimen. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You cannot wash your hair the same way she does. You can't use the products she does, and you can't like stretch your hair out in the same way that she does. It's just not gonna work if you have 4C hair, 4B, 4C, 4A hair. Don't style your hair every day. For you guys who like to switch up your hairstyle, oh, a puff on Monday, 2 pigtails on Tuesday, Wednesday you let your hair down, Thursday you braid it up, Friday you take it down. Do you not love your hair? The thing is, if you have like kinky, thick, coarse hair, your hair is prone to tangling and breakage. So the more you manipulate it, the more you're breaking it. Your hair just ain't built for that. Yeah, so don't style it every day. You could like put it up in a puff or something. Maybe style it like once a week, but don't be constantly combing it and constantly pulling it every day. Your hair is not built for that sport. Keep your hair moisturized, okay? Once you're done washing your hair, make sure that you apply a moisturizer while it's still kind of damp, and then follow it up by applying oil to seal in the moisture. Okay? Keep it moisturized because that will help you prevent breakage, which will help you retain length, which will lead to long, luscious hair. And that's what we want. Use protein treatments accordingly, okay? You need to know when to use a protein treatment. And how you know this is by feeling your hair. If your hair feels like too soft and it's almost like it's gonna disintegrate in your hands, then you know it's time to use a protein treatment. And you could use Affinity. There are a couple. I'll insert some pictures so you can see the different types of protein treatments. Know when to moisturize your hair. If your hair feels really dry and brittle, then you know that you need to use a deep conditioner. Yeah. Do not do tight hairstyles or keep your hair in the same style for a long period of time. And what I mean by this is that when you, especially with braids, when you go get your braids done, make sure it is loosely, not loosely, but it shouldn't be too tight to the point where you get those, is it like rashes, like bumps along your edges? That's how you know it's too tight. Or to the point where when you sleep, it's painful. You know that you're putting tension on your hair. And if you have braids and it's not painful, but just don't keep it in a ponytail every day for like from Monday to Sunday. It's just up in a ponytail. You're putting too much tension around your edges or around just one area of your head, which will lead to breakage in a specific area of your head. So don't do that. Take care of your hair while it is in protective styles. Okay, so even when your hair is up in braids, whether it's up and whether it's tucked away in a wig, you should still take care of it. Be sure to moisturize it every once in a while. Wash your scalp, even if you're not taking down the braids or your protective style. Make sure your scalp remains clean and your hair stays moisturized. Okay, don't just put it away and be like, oh, good riddance. No, your hair is not built for that. So make sure you keep it moisturized and you're good to go. And you don't have to moisturize every day. You can moisturize once a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Now it all depends on you. You should pay attention to your hair and how it feels. Oil is not a moisturizer. Which is why they're moisturizers. They're leave-in conditioners. Oil is just a sealant. Okay, so don't apply oil to your dry hair and expect it to be moisturized. No, you're just sealing in the dryness, which will lead to breakage. So before you apply oil, make sure you apply a moisturizer, then apply oil to seal in the moisture so it stays. Oil is not a moisturizer. Trim your hair whenever necessary. with hair shears. Do not be using your Straddler or Mapid, or I don't know which stationery brands you guys use, but don't be using your regular scissors for cutting papers to cut your hair. Don't do that. Use hair shears because they're much sharper and you'll get like a cleaner cut. And if you see your ends starting to look a little weird and less full, that probably means that you have split ends. Or just examine your hair and see. If you have split ends, you need a trim. Just examine your hair. You may just need to trim once a year or twice a year. I cannot give you a fixed date. So you just have to pay attention to your hair, and when you see it needs a trim, trim it off. It will save your hair, okay? Because if you keep split ends, what those split ends are gonna do is that it's just gonna keep splitting, and then it's gonna keep splitting along the shaft, and then your hair is just gonna break off. It's gonna damage all the hair, even though the problem started at the end. Don't play with the fire. Cringy. But yeah, don't play with the heat. Okay, so if you're gonna blow dry your hair, flat iron your hair, silk press, use heated brushes or combs, make sure you use a heat protected and don't do it too often. Do it maybe once a month. Just try and use it as little as possible. And when you do, use a high quality heat protectant. You're welcome. Choose your hair stylist wisely. Don't just go to the salon and expect people to just know how to deal with your hair. You see, hairstylists deal with different types of hair, and their methods may not work for your hair. And also, they may be in a rush, so they don't really care about whether your hair is breaking or not. No, they're thinking about time, because time to them is money, and the more customers they work on, the more money they get. So obviously, they're not going to take their time detangling your hair. They don't care about you like that. If you go to a hairstylist, you could ask them to gently detangle your hair. Be cautious of the products that you use on your hair. Now, you're gonna have to do your research, but for me personally, I do my best to avoid sulfates in my shampoo because sulfates can be really drying to your type 4 hair. So use non-sulfate shampoo. Use a silk or satin bonnet or silk or satin pillowcase. Do not just be laying down on your steel wool sheets or cotton sheets. Don't do that, because cotton absorbs is a very absorbing material. So it's gonna absorb all the oil and all the moisture from your hair, and your hair is gonna be dry, which leads to breakage. And also cotton has a whole lot more friction, so your hair is likely to snag on the cotton and break. So stay away from it. For the girlies with thick hair, work with your hair in sections. You cannot just wash your hair all together like that. I mean, maybe you could, but personally for me, that does not work. I have to part my hair in sections in order for me to wash it and work with it. And that prevents two-strand knots, it prevents breakage, and it makes it easier for me to thoroughly detangle my hair. Detangle your hair from ends to roots, okay? So when you're detangling your hair, you want to carefully detangle from the ends, working your way upwards to the roots. You do not want to bring the knots from up here all the way down here. You're going to end up cutting your hair. So make sure you're going gently. Remove the knots from the ends, remove the knots, remove the knots, remove the knots. And once you're done, that's when you can pass your comb through your hair. Don't dry your hair with a regular towel. Don't dry your hair that towel that you stole from that hotel. Because I know some of y'all do that. But no, on a serious note, use a microfiber towel or a t-shirt. Because those regular towels have like really big, what are those things? Fluffy things that can cause your hair to snag on the towel and break. So don't do that. Do long-term protective hairstyles. Over here, I have my headband wig installed, and I plan on keeping this in for a month, maybe 2, if I'm pushing it 4. Yeah. While taking care of it, of course. I'm gonna wash my scalp as needed, and yeah, because keeping long-term protective hairstyles helps you retain your length. If you're not manipulating it as much, it helps you retain your length. But don't overdo it, because it can be damaging if you keep it in for long, because it's gonna mat up, and that could also lead to breakage. So balance it out. Patience is key, my dear. You gotta be patient. Your hair is not gonna grow overnight. And all these people that are telling you, oh, do this, your hair's gonna grow like 7 inches overnight. Why are you lying to yourself? That's not gonna happen. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, a whole decade even, but you just gotta learn to be patient and enjoy every step of the way. Enjoy your hair at its short phase, at its tiny afro phase, enjoy it at its big afro phase, enjoy it at its long, lengthy phase. Just enjoy your hair as you go along the journey. And take pictures too so that you can see how your hair has grown throughout the years or the months or the weeks. Another thing we usually hate to hear, what's your diet? You cannot not put in the nutrients that your hair needs and expect it to grow. Okay? So you need to make sure you're taking in your vitamins, vitamin B, your proteins, so that there's enough for your body to supply to your hair. How do you expect your hair to grow if you don't have the facilities, if you don't have the tools that are needed for your hair to grow? So watch what you're eating and stay hydrated. I personally drink about 2 liters of water per day, no more and no less. This is the bottle I use, and it has like the time, which motivates me to drink water. So yeah, stay hydrated, which is also good for your skin. That's a bonus. Believe that your hair is gonna get there. Believe in yourself. Just like how you have to believe that you will be able to achieve some certain things, you need to believe that your hair can get to the stage that you want it to get to. Believe it and you're halfway there. And I will see you when you see me. Ciao.